I'm Sab. Good morning.
Well, good morning, sir. Namaskar.
I hope Esther Anjali ma'am also has joined. Rajesh Kumar sir, good morning.
Good morning, George. Nice to see you after a long time. Happy to see all of the education professionals.
Thank you, sir. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, Murugal sir, good morning, sir.
My chief guest will join now.
Sir, Murugal sir, unmute பண்ணுங்க sir. Unmute பண்ணுங்க sir. Yes sir. Sir, voice check பண்ணிக்கங்க sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Murivel sir.
Sir, கேக்குது sir.
Good morning.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
yes.
you.
We
Good
can
morning.
hear you.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, உங்க image கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணிக்கங்க sir. Image வரல. Murugal sir, வீடியோ வரல.
Hello.
Sir, உங்க வீடியோ வரல sir.
Coming.
Coming, eh?
ரெண்டு
Okay, yeah, we can see you. I think you are in car, right?
Yes.
Sir, ரெண்டுல வர்றீங்களா sir?
ஒண்ணுல தான் வரேன். அதை ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுவேன்.
Okay sir.
நடுவில் வரும் அப்படி ஓரமா இருக்கு. இருங்க இல்ல நான் சொல்லுங்க எங்க மேடம் மேப்ஸ் எடுங்க.
You are joining with
Hello. Morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning, madam. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Morning, madam.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Morning. Glory.
After 13 years,
Yeah,
we invited you again.
really.
After 2008.
After 2008, the credit goes to George
No, ma'am. To college.
institution. Huh?
Institution.
What we can say? Hi. Hi. Hi.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Hi. How happy you are. Jyoti, after a long time,
After a long time, ma'am.
I have come to this platform.
Glad to see you, ma'am. Glad to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning to all.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Mr.
I'm happy to welcome you all for this international conference in the Zoom platform. Now we will start the conference with the word of prayer by Dr. Johnson Prem Kumar. Sir, please.
Let us pray. Our heavenly gracious Father, thank you for this wonderful day, Lord. Thank you for this your protection for this pandemic period, Lord. Thank you for the great day you has given us to celebrate our centenary celebration, the international conference for the benefit of the physical educationists, the students, the staff, and other society members. Lord, we invite you for this international conference. Lord, without you cannot do anything, Lord. Be with us, guide us, and take all the electronic equipments And in your mighty hand, Lord, we need your presence, Lord. We hand over the international conference in your mighty hand, Lord. Be with us, guide us throughout this conference, or in the name of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Respected correspondent and secretary, principal, members of the staff and the participants, I'm happy to welcome you all. I am very much happy to welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Mrs. Esther Ranjini, former principal, YMCA College of Physical Education, Chennai, to this virtual international conference on managerial approach in physical education and sports. I welcome Dr. K. Murugavel, Registrar in Charge, Bharatiya University, for being one among the guests of honor for this conference. Next, I welcome Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Chairman and Principal, Department of Physical Education, Osmania University, for being the guest of honor in this conference. I am pleased to welcome Dr. Zamirullah Khan, Chairman and HOD, Department of Physical Education, Aligarh Muslim University, who is with us in the virtual platform as the guest of honor. Then I would like to welcome Dr. Larry Nolan, Vice Dean, Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, Ovidius University of Constanta, Romania, for being the resource person to share his expertise in the field of management in physical education. I do welcome Dr. Altian, Associate Professor, Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, Ovidius University of Constanta, Romania, for being with us to share her views on physical activities for the differently abled. I also welcome all the participants through Zoom and also through YouTube for the international conference on managerial approach in physical education and sports. Welcome you all. Ma'am, unmute பண்ணுங்க madam. Jyoti ma'am, unmute.
Good morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to introduce our eminent personality for this day, who has come to deliver the inaugural address. She is one of the most important lady. As a lady, I don't have any words, ma'am. I'm very much thrilled to see you on this platform, Dr. Mrs. Esther Ranjini, who has got MA, MPed and PhD. The former principal of YMCA College of Physical Education. She is a person who is affluent in her knowledge, and she has got enormous achievement as long as the sports and other academic is concerned. As a sportsman, she has represented school and district at the inter-district, state, inter-university in athletics from 1965 to 1974, and she has also captained the state in Kho-Kho in the year 1965. She has also represented college in throwball, basketball and volleyball, and she's a product of Alagappa University. If you go to the university stadium, her record of in the athletics still stands in the board of the pavilion. And as an academician, she is a person who has attended many conferences, organized many conferences at the national and international level. And she was also associated in organizing and also taking part in the YMCAs of India at the international conferences held in various places in India and abroad. She is a person who has also published a few books and also published articles at the national and international level. As an eminent principal of the YMCA College of Physical Education, she has been serving as a principal since 2002-2007, and a person who had been on her legs, on her toes, and during her principalship, she has brought many laurels to the nation and also to the college. She has brought new 5 courses which were introduced in the day and the evening college and UGC sponsored programs at the UG and the PG level. She is a person who brought computer courses for the graduate and the postgraduate student at YMCA College, and which was later adopted by many institutions. She was the one who restructured the courses of BPEd, MPEd courses for professional excellence and employability. I remember during her tenure, the MPEd 1-year course was converted to 2 years. And she has also introduced a number of extension programs and made 100% involvement of all the staff members at the college. She is a person who also upgraded the status of the college and made first physical education college accredited by NAC and got A grade, that is none other than YMCA College of Physical Education. She is also commendable in bringing the report of the UGC on autonomous extension of the college up to 2011, and all the teacher education courses got recognized by NCTE. She has applied for the Potential Institution for Excellence and got enormous development grants through UGC. And during her tenure, our campuses used to be such a colorful, and every day used to be full of events. Madam, I'm very much delighted. I also happen to have worked with you for almost 15 years or 17 years, I believe. And may I take the pleasure in inviting you to deliver the inaugural address. May I, you, ma'am, please.
Good morning to everyone. Respected Principal Dr. George Abraham, the correspondent secretary, administrators of the college, faculty members, dear students and well-wishers of the college. It gives me immense joy to be a part of this international conference on management approach in physical education and sports, organized by YMCA College of Physical Education on the occasion of centenary celebrations for the year 2021. The college has traveled a very long, hard path to reach its 100th year. There were many souls who labored hard, humbly, quietly, and shed their blood on this campus. At the outset, I like to mention how Mr. Harry Crow Buck instituted this institution in the year 1920. He came to India with the vision to start a training institute in Madras. He had discussions with the province of Madras, with some persons, with the view he instituted the institution in the year 1920. The first batch of the students with number 5, he carried out and followed the years. The number was increased to 40 in the year 1930. By the time he approached the Madras University and got the approval for the diploma training course in physical education, you just see how he instituted the institution with the diploma for teacher training leaders in physical education. Before he crossed 1930, one thing I like to remember you, he was officiating as a track and field coach and a starter in the 1924 Olympics. Here only, we should give importance to YMCA College of Physical Education now, in what level it is. The Olympic movement also started from YMCA College. And he had association with Jamsetji Tata. He had two sons, one Dogji Tata and Ratan Tata. Dogji Tata helped YMCA College in joining with the Olympic movement because he was having interest to be as a coach in Olympics. Others also should join along with him, for which he had the help from Tata and Sons. That was how the pioneer YMCA Institute was brought up by Harry Crow Buck. And after he crossed the years of 1930, he was having more association with Dr. P.M. Joseph also. He was in Mumbai with the Physical Education College. He got a few ideas from Dr. P.M. Joseph. Before he wanted to implement the continuous years, he used to send his important faculty for higher studies to United States, where in Springfield College, C.C. Abraham, Mr. Mia studied, and they returned back to India and got up the post as principal in this college. So after that, Mr. Mia, and then P.M. Joseph, who helped with more effort and worked very hard for the growth and development of YMCA College of Physical Education. Mr. Harry Crow Buck's intention was particularly on the staff and students' costumes. He gave importance to punctuality because the teacher training institution which trains leaders in physical education, not like any other arts and science college. 4 hours of practicals and 3 hours of theory. He thought every student must be educated to develop the body, mind, and spirit, for which he gave importance. And in 1943, he left the world. And thereafter, the National Council of YMCAs of India brought P.M. Joseph as the principal of the institution. Even though he had his services at Bombay, he left out some years and came back to YMCA and joined With his great effort, many things were done with the University of Madras. That time, A.L. Mudaliar was the Vice Chancellor of Madras University, with whom they acquired many things. And fortunately, the YMCA college from Central YMCA shifted to the Saidapete land, which was gifted by government of Madras to National Council of YMCAs of India. We have to really appreciate the gift which the National Council got in the heart of the place at present. How the students and staff are enjoying in that place. How the physical education teachers are trained now. And after Dr. P.M. Joseph, then KJ, then C.C. Abraham, and thereafter Chopde became the principal. And a few years Chopde acted as principal, and thereafter in the 60s, Dr. J.P. Thomas took over, and he also introduced the bachelor's degree in physical education after the conversion of diploma in physical education. And then he introduced 70 and 71, the master's degree in physical education. He did many things. He wrote several books on physical education. Even now, the students and teachers refer to that. And also for organization administration. He has written a book with the real activities which had happened at YMCA College of Physical Education. Like Harry Crow Buck, how he made the teachers ready even after the principal leaves the college, the subsequent years. A good leader was brought into this campus. The same manner, the National Council of YMCAs of India brought many principals to the institution. Then after Dr. J.P. Thomas, he handed over the charges. I think he was framed with charges before that he left the institution. Dr. J.P. Thomas was sent from the college like that. Then, after J.P. Thomas, Professor Luther was given 2 years in charge as principal. Then Dr. David Manuel Raj was brought in, and due to some charges, he was suspended and removed from the service. And after Dr. David Manuel Raj, Jnana Asi took over as principal. And a good band of teachers were there at the time. Mr. Monsing, Mr. Singh, Mrs. Cherian, Mrs. D'Souza, and Susan Ann, and many good teachers and specialists were given importance to teach special activities to the students of the college. In Jnana Asi's period, he was also suspended for 1 year by the National Council of India, and thereafter his retirement, one Dr. Rajasili John from Women's Christian College was brought in the year 1993. He worked as a physical director in Women's Christian College for 20 years of service, and she was brought in. And she created a lot of problems in the campus, and she also left. Why? She was having a doctorate, whereas some teachers in the college were not having doctorate. Then the teachers were sent to complete their doctorate degree, and thereafter the college was little better to develop the growth of the postgraduate and research degree. Many were contented with doctorate degrees. And the future appointments also were made in the doctorate after the criteria and norms framed by the NCTE, government, and also the management. Jnana Asi handed over to Rajasili Jan, and then Rajasili Jan left the college, and also she left confusion and chaos among the National Council board, faculty members with all the big campus. The National Council of YMCAs of India also experienced a new type of confusion and chaos prevailed in YMCA college. And after Rajasili John being the senior faculty member of the college, I have been given a chance to act as principal. National Council of YMCA of India, they are very genius people. They easily give the post to anyone else. Very carefully they go through. They verify, after which they used to have discussions with the physical educationists and educationists. Then only they give the chance to the members of the faculty. Likewise, after the autonomy was conferred, after the new courses were introduced, after the extension of autonomy was got from the government, and many things happened in the college because of its monumental contribution to physical education and sports in the country. Because I served in the campus, I just want to highlight here, and also the centenary celebration of this institution. The faculty members also jointly worked for the welfare of the institution from the day after Rajasili John left the institution. They contributed more on sports and towards the growth of the institution. And also I like to point out here, are you having in the campus counts and guides? Are you having the rules book published by National Council of YMCAs of India for the YMCA college? Are we having now St. John Ambulance First Aid examination for all the students, which was encouraged by Harry Crowbug? You just imagine from 1925 onwards. That must be also continued in the campus. When ECP Prabhakar and Major Victor, chairman and correspondent, they also worked for the welfare of the institution. So from 1920 to till 2021, how the institute grew into development and growth. The teachers of YMCA College of Physical Education, still they have to work hard along with the principal, correspondent secretary, and the National Council of YMCAs of India together for the welfare of the future welfare of the institution. I don't want to drag more, a little more. I want to touch upon the management approaches. What is the manager as a head of the institution and the employees as teachers to set the goals, to accomplish the objectives as an individual or as a group? You have to set a goal as SMART goals. SMART goals in the sense, yes, specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, or relevant, T, time bound. The goals must be specific. The goals which we frame to manage the entire company or institution, the goals must be specific. And they must be measurable. How you will measure the student's ability or the teacher's capability. And the goals must be attainable. Whether you will attain it. Sometimes when we frame goals or objectives, we may not be attainable within 6 months, within a 1 year. And R for relevant. The goals are relevant to the institution. That was how the manager to have his goals and also make the teachers to have separate goals for them to achieve the objectives of the institution. And last T for time bound. The goals are time bound. How? Whether it's a long-term goals or short-term goals. And finally, how? The leverage of achieving the goals for the welfare of the institution. We can have in 1 year 20% of objectives and 80% success. In 1 year, you will be doing, you can do like that. You can solve only 20%, but you will gain 80% success that you need. Every teacher must need. And also you should see the avenues of the student product which you send out of the institution. As a sports analyst, a sports marketing officer, and gym instructor, event coordination, finance and industry operations, and for sports communication, and also for sports scouts. So young friends, you use your time and energy in a productive way, which will be blessing to the family, community you live, and to the nation. I think I have drawn your attention most of the time by viewing the history of the institution. And very few minutes I spent on the management approaches. I think the management approaches will be dealt with other specialists on that aspect. It's really a great pleasure and honor of being here. With great pleasure, I inaugurate the International Conference on Management Approaches on Physical Education and Sports of YMCA College of Physical Education on the occasion of Centenary Celebrations 2021. Last but least, I like to conclude by congratulating the National Council of YMCAs of India for granting permission to conduct the conference on the occasion of centenary celebrations in the YMCA campus. Further, I like to congratulate the Board of Management members who are the live wires in discussions and formulating the objectives for the welfare of the institution. I congratulate the correspondent and secretary, YMCA College of Physical Education, who is the backbone of the institution in assuring funds in the conduct of international conference. And also, a very good honor and proud calling me as a guest of honor to this international conference for Principal Dr. George Abraham. Whom really I appreciate his wonderful and marvelous work towards the conduct of the conference. I congratulate again the organizing secretaries, Mr. Simpson, Mr. Abraham Davidson. I also congratulate the rest of the faculty members who have cooperated along with the principal to get it done successfully, the international seminar. Last but least, I congratulate all the students who participated in this international conference and the whole students of this great institution, also the well-wishers of the institution. I am wishing you all good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good morning to you all. On behalf of YMCA College of Physical Education Management, Correspondent Secretary, Administrator, Principal, members of faculty, and my personal behalf, I thank my mentor, adoptive parent, and revolutionary former principal of YMCA College of Physical Education, Dr. Esther Ranjani, for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest of our conference. Ma'am, your inaugural address was very interesting. You have highlighted the history of our college and recollected the golden memories and former principals of our college, and also the role and connection of YMCA College in Olympic movement at the right time of Olympic period. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing with us your words of wisdom and knowledge. You have driven this conference with a top gear by your zealous speech to the audience. It's always been our pleasure to have you with us, and we'll be looking forward to have your presence in more of our future events. Now, we would like to honor you for your valuable presence with an e-certificate. Kindly accept it, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Now, I'm really fortunate to present the distinguished profile of our guest of honor, who is my benefactor, role model, champion in football, great humanitarian, good Samaritan, well-known physical educationist, and great administrator, Dr. K. Murugavel, as senior professor and head, Department of Physical Education, Bharadiyar University, Coimbatore. Sir has hailed and fostered from Bodinayakunur, Theni district from Tamil Nadu. Sir has highly qualified with the master degree in physical education, MPhil, NS, MS in yoga, and doctorate in physical education. Sir has having more than 30 years of experience in the field of physical education. Initially, Sir has served 18 years as a reader in Ayyanadar Janaki Ammal College, Sivagasi. Sir is having vast experience in research also. He has produced 23 PhD scholars. Right now, 7 scholars are pursuing the research under his able guidance. He has adjudicated 87 PhD scholars' research works. Sir has published 68 articles in national and international journals, and also presented 30 papers in national level and 12 papers in the international level conferences. Sir has chaired 24 sessions in the national and 2 sessions in the international conferences, and also Sir has authored 3 books. Sir is a faculty recommend board member and member of board of studies for various universities and colleges, nearly 30 universities in the southern part of India, in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Pondicherry, and Karnataka. And also, he has visited and a member of board of studies for nearly 20 colleges. Sir is a chairman of board of studies in Alapa University, Bharadasan University, Kannanur University, and also Mananmaya Sundarnar University. Sir has noteworthy contribution in the field of coaching and produced 12 state athletes and 18 university athletes in different events. To add a feather in his crown, he has produced an Olympian, Mr. C. Thirunyanadurai, who has participated in 100 meters run at Sydney Olympics in 2000. Right now, Sir is shouldering various responsibilities and portfolios like Registrar in charge of Bharadiyar University, Syndicate member of Bharadiyar University, Dean of Education, NAC peer team member, NCT visiting member, Senate member of Bharadiyar University, Chief Warden of Bharadiyar University, and the President of Bhutto Association. Coordinator of Common Eligibility Test for MPhil PhD in Bharadiyar University, and also a liaison officer for the search committee for VC selection in Bharadiyar University. Sir was one of the final 3 candidates for the post of Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University in the year 2018, and he had an interaction with our present governor. Sir has received many honors in his career, out of which I picked a precious award, that is the Lifetime Achievement Award. And he has received this award twice. In the year 2018, he has received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Nature Science Foundation from Coimbatore, and in the successive year 2019, again he received the same award from Research Novel Academy, Pondicherry. Sir, we are really honored to associate with you as a guest of honor for our conference, and we are eagerly waiting to listen your speech. It's a proud and prestigious moment for us to invite our guest of honor, Dr. A. Murugavel, to address the audience. Sir, please.
Good morning, all of you. Am I audible, Jackson?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's at the outset, I thank Dr. Jackson for having given an elaborate introduction regarding me. Of course, it's a certain extent, it's a exaggeration to also. I really thank you, Jackson, for your words.
No, sir.
And distinguished chief guest of today's inaugural function, the legend in the field of physical education, the former principal of YMCA College of Physical Education, and Madurai Kamaraj University record holder in, if I'm correct, adults, and a principal has created more innovations in the YMCA campus during her tenure, Dr. Professor Esther Ranjani, respected secretary and correspondent of the premier institution of physical education of our country, my friend, young and energetic and outstanding sportsman and principal of this premier institution, Dr. George Abraham, and organizing secretaries, Dr. Johnson Prem Kumar, Dr. Simpson, Dr. Glory, Dr. Jackson, and other faculty members of YMCA College of Physical Education, and my friend, a good friend from Usmania University College of Physical Education, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Principal and Chairman of College of Physical Education, Usmania University, and participants of this international conference. So once again, a fine good morning to all of you. At the outset, we all must thank Almighty for having blessed us to conduct this international conference in spite of this pandemic situation. We are all really grateful to Almighty. We must be grateful to Almighty. And then it's my bounden duty to thank correspondent, secretary, principal, faculty members, Dr. Jodi Dayanand is a senior faculty of the YMCA College of Physical Education, for having given me this wonderful opportunity to be a part of this international conference in spite of this pandemic situation. As our Madam Chief Guest, Madam, former principal, has given wonderful narration, wonderful explanation, wonderful history of the YMCA College of Physical Education. Madam has reflected her thoughts from inside his heart and mind, how the YMCA College was, how the YMCA College of Physical Education should be in the future. I hope that, Madam, we assure you that we'll adhere to your words, we'll adhere to your principles, we'll take the field of physical education to the next level with your all blessings, Madam. And we need your blessing. And thank you very much for your blessing and presence in this international conference, for having blessed us, Madam. Thank you very much, Madam. Your presence made this international conference inaugural session really a significant one, a memorable and remarkable occasion in the YMCA College of Physical Education. And also I want to appreciate the organizers. This is the only conference which has been started on time. It's at 10 o'clock, in the sense the organizers were very prompt in starting exactly 10 o'clock. I must compliment all these organizers. The credit goes to Principal Dr. George Abraham and his team. I really appreciate the effort and teamwork is extended by the faculty members. Really, I also anticipate the same magnitude of cooperation and support to the principal, the premier institution of physical education of our country, to take the college to the next level. And next, then, dear friends, we are at the inaugural function of this international conference, managerial approach of physical education and sports. It's the right time to conduct this conference. See, in our profession, in our profession, we produce very many resources, particularly the professionals we produce very many, but I think that the concentration we pay on the profession is lacking. That's what I want to convey now. See, we produce very many professionals. As our former principal rightly instructed us to take care of the profession. So when we produce the personalities in the field of managerial, that is managers, we need good managers to lead us, to direct us, to guide us, to take the field into next higher level. So as far as myself is concerned, so we stand still. We have not taken our field into the next level for past 30 years. I hope that this conference would fulfill the needs of the younger generation to get themselves inspired from this conference, the international conference on managerial approach, the field of physical education and sports will have more significance, more benefits, more outcomes to the younger generation to shape our field, to convert, to take our field to the next level. And I once again, I congratulate the correspondent secretary and my friend Dr. George Abraham and the faculty members, the organizers of this international conference. I know the difficulties of organizing an event, that too during this pandemic situation. They might have taken enormous pain on their shoulders to organize this conference. I hope that I wish to have organizers to have a successful conduct of this international conference, and also the outcomes of this conference may also be submitted to the authorities of the government, as well as we have got a separate forum, Sports University, Tamil Nadu Physical Education Sports University. So one of former principal is leading as Vice Chancellor of Physical Education University of our state. So the outcomes of this conference may also be submitted to the Physical Education Sports University and the government to take more stress on this shaping and producing more managers in the field of physical education. So once again, I thank all correspondent secretary, principals, organizing secretaries of this conference, and faculty members of this YMCA College of Physical Education for having given me this wonderful opportunity to be part of this international conference, and also to share the dais with the living legend like Professor Esther Ranjani and Rajesh Kumar also. Thank you very much. All the best. All the best to have a successful conduct of this conference. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful words of appreciation, and the key point that you have given, that we produce professionals, but we lack in producing the managers in physical education, which is a very, very important aspect that we have to learn. And I hope this conference will enlighten upon it. And as you said, we will take your words that we would submit the proposal, the outcome of this conference to the government and to the Tamil Nadu Physical Education and Sports University for further action. Thank you very much, sir. We are really honored to have your presence, and as a token of love and appreciation from the YMCA College of Physical Education, we would like to give you a small certificate of appreciation. Kindly accept it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much.
George, thank you. Jackson, thank you. Simpson, thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Now we have a very, very great eminent personality with us. So we have Professor Rajesh Kumar, who has obtained his bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctoral degree in physical education from Osmania University, Hyderabad. Sir, indeed, we are very happy to have you here with us. He had his diploma in sports coaching and athletics from Sports Authority of India. He is presently working as chairman and principal, Department of Physical Education, Osmania University, Hyderabad. He is a visiting professor, Faculty of Sports Sciences, and a visiting professor at Indonesia in the year 2020. He holds previously many administrative positions such as head, Department of Physical Education, Secretary, Board of Control, Inter-University Tournament, Osmania University, Secretary, Intercollegiate Tournaments, Chairman, Board of Studies in Physical Education, and organized national universities championships in rowing and other softball and other so many games. He is the President, International Federation of Physical Education, Fitness and Sports Aid Associations, and Secretary General, Indian Federation of Computer Science in Sports. He is also a former Board of Director, International Association of Computer Science and Sports. He is the International Master Athlete, a point to be noted. He is the International Master Athlete participating in the World Masters Athletic Championship held at Finland in 2009 and Asian Masters Athletic Championship held at Thailand 2009, Malaysia 2010. And he also in Chinese Taipei 2012. He also won a bronze medal in 5,000 meters run in the Asian Masters Athletic Championship held at Bangalore in 2006. He is Indian athletics team coach in the 30th World Universiade held at Napoli, Italy in July 2019. He was also a chief delegation of Osmania University chess team in the Asian Universities Chess Championship held at Philippines in 2018. He is the manager of Indian Sapak Takraw men's team, which secured bronze medal in the World Cup Championship held at Hyderabad in November 2017. He is also an IAAF Level 1 technical official, officiated in the Commonwealth Games at New Delhi in 2010 and major international athletic meets held in India. He holds many voluntary positions at present and previously in sports, that is Treasurer, Telangana Athletics Association, President, Hyderabad District Athletic Association, Organizing Secretary, Hyderabad District Olympic Association, Joint Secretary, Andhra Pradesh Softball Associations. He has conducted many events in athletics such as State Athletic Meets Hyderabad, Open Sprint Athletics Championship, Golden Mile Run, Summer Road Run, and the Road Run, etc. He has participated and presented the papers in the international conference at London, China, Mauritius, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Bahrain, and so many other countries. He has presented more than 100 papers in national and international conferences and published more than 100 research papers in national and international reputed journals in Scopus, Web of Science, ISI journals, etc. 2 foreign students and 8 Indian students awarded doctorate degree in physical education in Osmania University under his guidance. He has published so many articles and books, and he has also received many awards in 2018, Best Professor in Physical Education Studies by Devang Mehta National Education Award in 2019, IRST Preeminent Education Award in 2020, INSC Award in 2021, Principal of the Year Award 2021, Excellent Service Award in the year 2021. He is also a chief editor of International Journal of Health, Physical Education and Computer Science and Sports and Asian Journal of Physical Education, Computer Science and Sports. He is the editorial board member and reviewer of many international and national journals. His area of research interests in sports training, test and measurement, sports technology, and athletics trainings. Indeed, we are astonished by your accomplishments. Amazing. You are a person of physical activities as well as a person of theoretical, both education and a person of action on field. So indeed, we are very delighted to have you here, and we are honored by your presence here. And we now look forward for your kind words. Please, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the brief introduction. I'm very happy. Good morning, all the speakers, organizers, and participants. It is indeed a great privilege for me to associate a great institution called OMC College of Physical Education. The OMC College of Physical Education started 100 years back. Just now, Professor Istranjani Madam has given a brief profile of the OMC College of Physical Education, how they work for the promotion of physical education in our country. And indeed, a very happy occasion that a OMC College called me as a guest of honor. And I'm also happy to associate with the chief guest, Professor Istranjani Madam and Professor Murugavel Sir as a guest of honor, and also all the management committee members of OMC College of Physical Education. And special thanks to Dr. George Abraham, Principal OMC College of Physical Education, other staff members of the College of Physicians for inviting me for today's International E-Conference. Regarding the International E-Conference on managerial practice in physical and sports, it is a wonderful topic. Nowadays, managerial practice has become a pivotal role in the field of physical education and sports science to get a new jobs. Recently, I applied a job in other country. They, by seeing my biodata, they told me that you are fit to be athletic manager. I asked, what is the duty of the athletic manager? He told, athletic manager duty is to plan the activities, plan the coaching, plan the everything. You have to get a sponsorship and coordinate teams like that. They're telling. So then I thought that our physical education is beyond our reach now, because now physical education is not at the school level and college level. Now we have to go for other practices, because we have to look up the teams of the Indian team at Olympic Games, coordinated planning of the teams, and how to improve the performance, how to coordinate with the sports science, other things are there. So this is the best topic. Dr. George, you are chosen a best topic today. That is a managerial practice. Nowadays, change in the field of education. And our country is lacking in this. Our personnels are lacking in that. Now our physical education teacher has to become a manager, take the managerial practices to come in the sports teams, professional teams like IPL, Pro Kabaddi, and all teams. Now our physical education teacher must become a part and parcel of the teams in the enhancing the performance and managing the teams. I once again thankful to Dr. George Abraham, my friend. Is a principal of the OMC College of Physical Education, and many teaching staff I know in the OMC College of Physical Education. I'm also thankful to them. And guest of honors, Dr. Murugavel sir, and chief guest, Professor Istranjani Madam. And I saw today very glad speakers are on the list today. I wish good luck. I hope, George, you are organized like this, and hope that our profession of physical education will come up in all over the country, and our physical education teachers will help the Indian sports arena to achieve at higher level. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful words. As you said, nowadays physical education is behind our reach. So he told physical education has lots of opportunities to be the part of managers in world-class leagues and Indian Premier League and professional competitions. Thank you very much, sir. As a token of love, we would like to give a certificate of appreciation to you. Sir, please accept.
Thank you, George, and all my friends.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I'm so happy to welcome Professor Zamirullah Khan, who has completed his graduation, post-graduation at Punjab University, and his doctoral degree in physical education, Aligarh Muslim University. He has published more than 30 journals, papers in journals, and he has attended so many international conferences, and he has published 2 books, and under his guidance, 9 PhD scholars have completed the doctorate, and he has done a major research project. And he was a facilitator of NAC, Department of Physical Education in Aligarh Muslim University, and he was one of the elected member of the Academic Council of Aligarh Muslim University in the year 2003 to 2005 and 2008 to 2010. And Sir has contributed in organizing Commonwealth Games, which held at Delhi in 2010. And he was the Chandigarh State national boxer, and he represented Punjab University 2 times in All India University in the game in the sport of boxing. Sir, we are very much happy to have you in our midst in this international conference. Sir, we welcome you and we want to hear from you. Sir, please.
Sir, please unmute. Professor.
Right, yeah, thank you very much. I forget to unmute. Yes, I'm very thankful to Dr. S. Gladys for introducing me. Very good morning to all. All right, keeping in view the present situation of the epidemic, that is COVID-19, the topic that has been chosen by the organizing committee, like managerial approach in physical education and sports for the international conference, is most appropriate, as it is the prime responsibility of the physical education teachers are those involved in physical activity for enhancement of the programs to get the pupils or the person engaged in physical activity to boost the immunity systems of the citizens. Because in this COVID 2019, it has been observed that still there is no medicine. It is only the immunity that by enhancing that immunity systems, we can be able to make ourselves safe from this pandemics. So that's why this enhancement of the programs of physical education can only be done by following the managerial skills by the physical education teachers. So the physical education teachers or the sports professionals must have an understanding regarding the managerial skills, right? So these managerial skills, if the person has got an understanding, then by following the protocol of the COVID-19, will be able to let the individuals be free from the adverse effect, from the effect of the pandemic, and will be able to contribute in the progress of the nation buildings. So, like as we know that in good managerial skills, good physical education teachers or sports managers must have an understanding about the planning. Then they should be good in going for the decision, that what the decision they have to take, and they have to have well in advance. They should be able to understand what can be there, the problems that has to be overtaken, and the communication should be very clear. That communication has to be given to each and every individuals with whom he or she is going to be in contact, as well as it is not possible for to go for the organization of all the physical activities at your own. So that's an individual should have a power or understanding of distributing the duties that comes the delegation, as well as with that he should be capable of managing that time. So these are the simple qualities a manager should possess, and definitely I am very optimistic that the lectures that are going to be delivered by Dr. Lorian Allen and Dr. Antonella Altin will be very useful and will be in line of that. And definitely that is going to be very helpful for all the participants. As enough has already been delivered by our guest and the chief guest. So already it's, I think, beyond the time. So without taking much of time, I will like to express my sincere thanks, especially to chief guest of the day, Dr. Mrs. Esther Ranjani, guest of honor, Professor K. Murugavel, Saab, Registrar in Charge, Bhartiya University, Coimbatore, and Professor Rajesh Kumar, Chairman and Principal, Department of Physical Education, Osmania University, for hearing me patiently. And I also express my gratitude and regards to Dr. George Ibrahim and other distinguished guests and members of the organizing committee, like Honorable J.B. Koshi Saab, Honorable Justice Korean Joseph Saab, Mr. J. Benjamin Franklin, and other members for inviting me as guest of honor and giving me an opportunity to express my views regarding the conference in this premier Institute of Physical Education. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Samirullah Khan, for accepting our invitation and being here as a guest of honor for the International Conference on Managerial Approaches in Physical Education and Sports. Indeed, your special talk was very informative and encouraging to everyone who took part in the conference. Thanks for touching upon the importance of managerial skill, planning, budgeting, and coordinating among physical education professionals. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. To appreciate you and honor you, please accept our certificate, which is shared and displayed virtually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, George Saab. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dear participants, let's move on to the next part of this conference. Now I invite Dr. George Abraham, the convener of this international conference, a veteran athlete, the captain of the ship, also a good manager, is driving force in uplifting this college in all the aspects. The man who planted the ideas in organizing this international conference in view of centenary celebration. With this brief introduction, I invite our beloved principal to deliver the special address to the delegates. Sir, the Zoom platform is yours now. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Prafu, for your words, nice words about me. Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Guest of today's international conference, Dr. Esther Ranjani, former Principal of IMC College of Physical Education. A guest of honor, Professor K. Murugavel, Head of the Department of Physical Education and Dean of Education. Personally, he is the in charge of Register of Bhartiya University, Coimbatore. Professor Rajesh Kumar, Chairman and Principal of and Department of Physical Education, Osmania University, Hyderabad. Professor Samirullah Khan, Chairman and Head of the Department of Physical Education, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. A respected Correspondent Secretary of this college, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, Administrator, Mr. Rajiv George, resource persons and invited speakers of this program, International Conference, Professor Alin Larion, Dean Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, Ovidius University of Constanta, Romania, Dr. Oltian Antonella, Associate Professor, Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, Ovidius University of Constanta, Romania, professors and physical directors of various universities and colleges, research scholars, teaching and non-teaching staff of YMCA College, organizing secretaries, Dr. Abraham Davidson and Dr. E. Simpson Jesudas, other organizing committee members, students and friends. Very good morning to everyone, those who are present here in this online platform. I feel so proud and honored being the principal of YMCA College of Physical Education. Just before, our great teacher, former principal of YMCA College, living legend of physical education, Dr. S. Ranjani, inaugurated this international conference. Who was a principal of this college between 1998 and 2008 and served here as a professor for more than 30 years. And she was an outstanding athlete. As our one guest of honor, Murigwal sir rightly mentioned, ma'am created a record at Madurai Kamaraj University in 1970s. So madam, we are honored with your presence and grace for this international conference. And I consider it is a great privilege to welcome you all to this great institution of sports and physical education and to the international conference on managerial approach in physical education and sports, MAPES 21, as a part of our college centenary celebration. As we all know, a great visionary and physical educationist, Mr. Harry Kraubeck, established this college in 1920. Later, who is named as the father of physical education of India. This college has produced more than 1 lakh of physical education professionals who are the ambassadors of YMCA College, Chennai, and the pillars of Indian physical education. This is a great moment for this college to organize such an international virtual conference. Fortunately, we have an outstanding resource persons are also with us from Romania, Professor Ladion and Professor Olchian. I hope this conference would be very informative and thought-provoking. This would be an eye-opener of physical education professionals, especially the coaches and research scholars. I hope both sessions would be very fruitful. And last, I would like to appreciate the organizing secretaries of this international program, Dr. Abraham Davidson and Dr. Simpson Jesudas, for their tireless work and effort to make this program in action. Before concluding, once again, I welcome all the dignitaries and delegates to this international virtual conference. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. So every time we are able to thank you, we are inadequate of words. Usually, famous quote says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. You are the one leading us in the front, shows all the ways to perform and create opportunities and create platform to perform, staging our performances. Really, really thank you for arranging every resource person from throughout the world, and as well as great eminent personality, bringing them together into one platform and make this particular conference a great success one. So thank you so much, sir. With this thankful note to the principal, I invite Dr. Merlin Tanga Daniel to present. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. I am profusely elected to take an opportunity to introduce our resource person, Dr. Anto Anila Alton, Associate Professor, Department of Physical Education and sports faculty, Ovidius University of Constanta from Romania. She is multi-talented and multilinguistic in nature. She got mastery over kinesiotherapy from Ovidius University of Constanta and sports tourism from University of Petsy. She discussed many roles in her professional career and which ranges from associate teacher, associate coach, teaching assistant, and so on. She is expertise in administering various sports clubs at Romania. Our resource person is well known for her humanitarian, and she rendered her service as the associate coach at Special Olympics for a team of gymnastics with special needs. She has published many papers and international conferences and also been an organizing committee member for various international conferences. On behalf of the management, principal, staff, and student, and also on my personal behalf, warm welcome to you, ma'am. Over to Dr. Antonella Alton. Please, ma'am.
Hello. I would like to thank you for this invitation. It's a really opportunity for us to participate at this important conference. I appreciate very much the previous speakers, and I hope my intervention to be also an interested one. I came from Ovidius University from Constanța, Romania, situated in southeast of Europe, precisely near Black Sea coast. So I would like to present my my intervention. It is called Physical Activities for Differently Abled. I try to present the managerial aspects of the physical activities in our country. So, as Nelson Mandela said, sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sports can create hope where once there was only despair. It is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers. Sport covers all forms of bodily activities that contribute to a person's physical well-being, mental balance, and social interactions. Promoting an active and healthy lifestyle is a priority due to the multiple benefits that the movement itself has and the adoption of sport values at the level of individual, society, and nation. While sport has value in everyone's life, it is even more important in the life of a person with a disability or different abled. Rehabilitative influence sport can have not only on the physical body, but also on rehabilitating people with special needs into society. Furthermore, sport teaches independence. Today, people with special needs participate in high performance as well as in competitive and recreational sport. Participation in sport should be seen from the perspective of practicing sport as a form of physical activity and from the perspective of participating in social activities. For example, participating in sporting events or actively participating in a sport community as a volunteer or as a member of a sport club or fan club. So, on 7th July 2007, the International Olympic Committee made a number of changes to the Olympic chart, not charter, which clearly stated that sport was a human right. Consequently, all people must be able to practice sport without discrimination of any kind, and in an Olympic spirit that implies mutual understanding, solidarity, and fair play. Organized sports for athletes differently abled is generally divided into three broad disability groups. So we have sensory impairments, which includes deaf or visual or anything like this, people with physical disabilities and people with intellectual disabilities. Each group has a distinct history, organization, competition program, and approach to sport. The number of people with disabilities involved in sport and physical recreation is steadily increasing around the world, with organized sports for athletes with disabilities divided into 3 main disability groups. So these are the groups. In accordance with all these international contexts, the current national strategy on physical activity and performance sport in Romania was developed. So we did a SWOT and steeple analysis for a clear vision on the resources, but also on the existing limits at the level of Romanian mass and high performance sports. It is necessary to carry out an in-depth examination of the field with the help of SWOT analysis, strengths, opportunities, threats, and steeple, social, technology, economic, environment, political, legal, aspects. So the first of this, the SWOT analysis, is a frequently used method as it provides a complete and detailed overview, extremely useful before carrying out any large-scale project. On the other hand, the steeple analysis complements the first one and capture various social, technological, economical, political, environmental, legal, and ethical factors that we must take into account in developing this strategy. So both analyses ensure the establishment of objectives appropriate to the reality they examine due to the broad perspective from which the field of physical activity and performance sport is viewed. So, on the social aspects, we have strengths as the capacity of sport to improve cohesion, integration, development, and community education, the existence of a tradition promoting national identity through sport, the capacity of sports to improve the level of public health, both physical and mentally, the ability of sports to prevent and reduce antisocial behaviors, especially among young people, the capacity of sport to provoke positive social changes. As weaknesses, we do have limited opportunities for practicing sports by all categories of population aging trend, lower level of awareness among the population regarding the importance of an active lifestyle and the health benefits of physical activity, low average visibility of the benefits of practicing physical activities at the level of the population as a whole, existence of a limited number of specialists in the field related to sport that can contribute to increasing performance, limited research in the field of sport, lack of physical activity programs, especially intended for people from disadvantaged categories, reduced number of sport hours in the school curriculum. This is a good one, let's say this. The lack of social reintegration program for former performance athletes and poor qualification of some of the persons working in the sports field. On social aspects, the opportunities are the willingness of young people to change their lifestyle and to focus on physical activity. And here we speak in name of the parents and legal guardians. Large number of young people who choose and complete specialized studies in the field of sport, the capacity of the national strategy regarding physical activity and performance sport to generate a positive impact at social level, and so on. Some of the threats are rising unemployment, continuous deterioration of living condition, high incidence of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and other chronic diseases resulting from sedentary lifestyle, rapid aging of the population, immigration of young people with potential both in sports and in related fields, the lack of interest of Romanian specialists in the diaspora to get involved in the development sport, and so on. For the technology aspects, the strengths are the existence of technologies that can be used in the field of sport and the ability to develop new ones in accordance with the requirement on the field, internet access, and recent development of informal communication channels. As weaknesses, we do have insufficient scientific studies and inability to transfer scientific knowledge in the practical field, precarious funding of research in the field of sports, limited number of specialists and researchers in sport, limited access to the latest information. So the opportunities are the possibility of adapting in sport some technology already developed in the field, such as the defense or communications, the possibility to disseminate information widely in the field of sports and physical activity through existing technology, and threats, diminishing the capacity of research centers in terms of disseminating information and technological resources on the market that could lead to sports improvement. So, and insufficient funding of research in the field of sports. On economical aspects, we do have the strengths as developing the capacity to organize international competitions in our country, and the existence of non-reimbursable funds in the field of sports and the sports activity. As weaknesses, we do have insufficient attraction of funds for the private sector to mass and performance sports due to bureaucratical aspects, high health expenses for those who lead a sedentary lifestyle. As opportunities, there are the availability of the European Union to finance program for mass sports and the significant decrease in health expenditure resulting from the adoption of an active lifestyle. Threats, increasing disinterest in financing sport and sport activities, and precarious awareness of the economic argument to maintain an active lifestyle. As per environment aspects, the strengths are considered the geographical area and varied climate that allow the practice of several types of sport. Romania has all types of relief and climate. So we do have the Black Sea, we do have many rivers, and also we do have many mountains in which the snow could last until, I don't know, June. So it's a variety of climate and geographical aspects. As for weaknesses, we do have poor management of local or national sports, the reduced selection base for high performance, and not just that, insufficient or outdated sports infrastructure. So this is the main thing that we have as weaknesses for sports with different able people. As opportunities, we promote the sport performance. We maximize sports results by investing in sports specific to geographical areas. And as threats, the accentuated degradation of some sports bases, as I said before, which can eventually lead to their disappearance. This happened very often, badly. Decrease in the number of performance athletes due to the lack of specific investments in sport for each geographical area. So for the political aspects, we do have here some problems because we do not have the laws specific for the differently able people. So if the legal aspect is seen in our country, it is only as a paragraph in a law for sport performance for, let's say, normal people. As threats, we do have political instability at national and international level. As legal aspects, as I said, we have lack of legislation focused on issue of table sports, and not only for table sports. As opportunities, though, we have the development of partnerships between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and other ministries to facilitate the adoption of laws for the benefit of grassroots and performance sports. For the ethical aspects, we do have a competitive tradition of fair play among performance athletes and good absorption of athletes of other nationalities. As threats, we do have an increasing incidence of doping case at international level, so it is a trend, unfortunately, for all of sports, of athletes, not only for the ones who compete today at Olympic Games. So for adapted sports, our ministry established a strategic target, increasing the number of people with special education needs who systematically practice physical and sports activities in order to improve their health, social integration, and participation in competition. So they, after they did that SWOT and STIPL analysis, they set some objectives, proposed some activities, and the institution that could do these activities. So we can see that the first objective is increasing the number of participants and facilitating access to sports program adapted to each type of disability. So the activities could be on long-term implementation of existing international education, health, and sport promotion policies, encourage the practice of adapted sport activities, promoted adapted physical education, and expanding opportunities to practice sport as a way to spend free time. Another objectives is increasing the level of awareness of families and the community about the importance and benefits of practicing physical activity and sport by people with special education needs. We do see here the institution that are involved in the activities proposed. So they are the sports ministry, local administration, public and private institution, sport federations. So they have to organize sport events through which the public is encouraged to change their attitude and behavior towards people with special needs, increasing the visibility of these institutions, projects, and activities with effects in terms of attracting human and material resources for the development of adapted sports. Another objective is training of human resources, coaches, instructors, referees, specialized in organizing and leading competition of athletes with disabilities. So as physical education and sport faculty, we do have this, this job to organize training for coaches, instructors, and referees for adapted sport. So we are proudly doing this. Another objective is increasing the number of participants in the major competitions, Paralympic Games and Special Olympics World Games. We do participate in 2007. Our university participated in 2007 in Shanghai Special Olympics World Games with gymnastic teams among the other participants from Romania. It was a great experience. Other objectives are providing opportunities for practicing adapted sports, creating partnerships, encourage volunteering in the training of athletes and organization of specific competition. We do we are also doing this by with our students from the faculty. We encourage them to volunteer in such sport events with for the adapted sports. And not the last, social insertion through sports of people with special educational needs. So in order to do that, we do have to reorganize and adapt the sports system to attract people with special needs to different sports. We have to adopt specific criteria in order to ensure equitable access to sport activities for all persons with special needs and disadvantaged people. We have to train the supervisor and specialized staff for sport assistance for people with special needs. Establish within the National Sports Federation of a special department to coordinate sports program and action for people with special needs. Also, this point is already happened. Carrying out national programs such as Sport for People with Disability, collaboration with the Special Olympics Romania Foundation, and the initiation and continuity of sport competition between placement centers in the country. Initiating various sports activities for disadvantaged groups. So this was my presentation. I would like to thank you all for your attendance and for this this opportunity to present my paper.
Thank you, Madam, for your excellent presentation about physical activities for differentially abled. Dear participants, now the time for interaction with our resource person, Dr. Antonella. Those who want to interact, you can unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, you can type your questions in the chat box. Now open to forum. Madam, sorry.
Okay. I have
Madam,
in the chat. Yes.
Madam, we have received some of the questions in the chat box. Can I ask on behalf of the participants?
So in the chat box, the
can I ask the questions?
Yes, please. Sorry.
What is major disability sporting event and what are the barriers for persons with disabilities?
So in Romania, the major disability sporting is special champions that we do, and also national Special Olympics games. As for the second part of the questions, what are the barriers for persons with disabilities? The barriers are here in Romania, mainly the infrastructures, because if we do have a wheelchair disabilities person, it is unlikely to have an infrastructure of sport facilities which permit the entrance and the participation of this kind of people. So this is the main barriers. We do have many volunteers. We do have many specialists which are doing volunteering trainings with these people, but the infrastructures are the mainly barrier for this person. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Could you explain about what are the managerial difficulties of physical education professionals while handling this kind of differentially able people?
Is there another question? Sorry.
What are the managerial difficulties? Management difficulties while handling
management difficulties. Management difficulties are from the legal point of view, we do not have laws to encourage practicing sports for this type of people. But fortunately, these days, this year, we have Special Olympic Romania interventions, and they do in I don't know 16, 18 local communities in our country, sports club for differently abled people. So something, it's moving slowly, but it's moving.
Okay, thank you, madam. Is there any courses being conducted on international perspectives? If so, what is the procedure to pursue the course?
No, we do not have today a course for physical adapted teachers, but our program, physical education program and sport performance programs do have classes in which our students learn about how to manage the training with disability, people with disabilities.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you for your wonderful explanation about the SWOT and STIFL analysis, everything. On behalf of the YMCA College of Physical Education, management, principal, and all the staff members, I am delighted to present the e-certificate as an appreciation. Please accept, madam.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samil Jesus. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Yes. Good morning to everybody gathered here. First of all, I'd like to thank management, principal, correspondent secretary for giving me this great opportunity to give an introduction for the second session, resource person. Here, I would like to quote a few points that because both are resource persons today from the same country. So I like to quote here that both are very eminent personality. And mainly, I like to say that Laren Allen, Dr. Laren Allen is an associate professor. And more than that, this university is a very great university that in Romania, that Constanta. It has been started 1961. Pedagogy, that is 1961, it is started as a pedagogy institute. Then it has converted into 1990 Comprehensive University. After that, in the great poet, Roman poet, in the name Ovidius, the university name has converted from 1991, Ovidius University of Constanta. So in this great university, our great personality, Dr. Laren Allen, he has started his career starting from assistant from 1998 to 2002, 2002 to 2005 assistant at Ovidius University, Constanta, Faculty of Physics and Sports. Then he has upgraded to 2005 to 2009 as a lecturer. Then 2009 to 2015, associate PhD professor at Ovidius University. And he started to guide from 2015, PhD professor at Ovidius University. And 2020, Vice Dean in Faculty of Physical Education and Sports. So such a great personality we have here. And from this country, for this, because since we are organizing this conference related to the Olympic, so from his country, 101 participants, that is a competitor take part in current Olympic, that means today onwards, yesterday. So 17 sports. And our resource person is a great athlete, and he is very well-known person in the country because he is one among the selector, of course, for the Constanta branch for the Romanian Olympic Academy. So more than that, he is the very good athlete, and he has rendered more service related to the athletic associations, various starting from district, state, national and international category. And he has done his PhD in Anifas, Bucharest, University of Pitești, supported doctoral thesis entitled Contribution to the Definition Features of the Management of Scientific Sports Clubs Performance. So he is a very renowned person, and more than that, he knows the language of English and French, and his skills and social skills, like it's a huge, it's there. Just I am mentioning, sorry sir, if I sorry to say this, because huge appreciation is there. So in this, I am quoting very few. State Board of the Association of Athletic Constant Country 2002 to 2009, Chairman of the competitions 2005 to 2009, President of Metamorphosis Foundation of Ovidius University of Constanța starting 2008, and Vice President of Romanian Federation of Sports for All 2005-2017, President of the Romanian Federation of Sports for All, that is starting from 2017, Vice President of Association of Country for All Constanta, and so like that 2017, 2014, and member of board Romanian Academic Olympic Constanta branch 2001, and member of the International Council for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, Sports, Dance, and Virginia, USA 2019 till now. Member of Correspondence Science and Sports magazines under the auspices and patronage of the Federation of University Professors, Coaches, and Educators of Kinesiology from 2010. Research Network Professor of South Indian Society of Sports and Physical Education, Tiruchirappalli, India. Thank you, sir. You are part of our Indian, that is our Tamil Nadu. Thank you. Research Network Professor at International Society of Eastern Sports and Physical Education, Asian Society of Sports and Physical Education 2010 till now. Member of Sports for All Commission in Romanian Olympic and Sports Committee starting from 2017 till now. President of the Commission and member in Executive Committee starting from 2020. And apart from that, he is a member of the Organizing Committee and International Scientific Conferences and State Conferences Editorial Board member, review of all Ovidius University research purpose, and he is a leading expert person in sports and science, and he is a lecturer in trainee. He has conducted the trainee course for the lectures in Sports for All for the C and B held in Constanta, Basgova, 2006, 2009, and 2014. Sir, really, I am very much delighted to give you a profile. And last but not least, he has published 5 books. He is author of 5 books and co-author of 8 books. And more than that, over 30 scientific papers in the professional journals he has presented. And overseas papers, is 80 research papers he has presented. A member of 11 national research and grants and 3 international research grants. So really, I am very much delighted and happy to have you for this session, and really welcome you on behalf of YMCA College of Physical Education Pioneer Institution in Asia continent. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Wow, what a presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is my abilities, and I'm very, very proud, and I'm very happy to be with you today. Dear Mr. George Abraham, dear Mr. Principal, dear colleagues, dear guests, dear students, it is a special honor for me to participate in this event, in this special anniversary event that brings to the forefront love for field of science, the science of sports and physical education. First of all, it is a great joy to be with you on a beautiful day and the time when you celebrate such an anniversary, 100 years it's a very, very good, a very, very nice anniversary. I'm happy to be among the friends of IMCA. And at the same time, I'm very honored to be with the special people, leaders of structures, partners of high performance sports. I bring from the Faculty of Physical Education and Sport from Ovidius University of Constanza, from the position of Vice Dean now, the best and warmest wishes for the participants, and from the Romanian Federation Sport for All, whose president I'm the same time, warm wishes and congratulations for this special event. As a member of the executive committee of the Romanian Olympic and Sport Committee, I am very glad to participate as a guest and to learn so many special things about the IMCA that contributed by carrying out activities to the World Olympics, and these facts honors me. I'm one of the professors who closely follows the scientific activity in India, and I'm glad to be at the third participation in an international conference. And always when I participated in such activities, I really enjoyed the idea issued, the ability to organize, and the joy to participate near my friend from India, the Indians. Thank you again for the opportunity to meet special people and to find teachers who I have collaborated over time. I see here Mr. Rakesh Kumar, a lot of professor who is a very, very good professor and professionist in this field of science of sport activities. Today I will present some words about my university, but this will be in the second. And the first time I will talk with you about some managerial activities in sports in Romania, because maybe, who knows, we can collaborate in these important managerial activities, not only in sport, in all activities in the future. I will go to share screen. I think it's this. It's okay, yeah?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Operational management in sport performance. In Romania, the sport performance is managed by the following sport structures. We have a Ministry of Youth and Sport, which is the central state authority responsible for sport events. The sports department within the agency, now it's the ministry, is led by a state secretary, and it's structured by the following way: the general direction for organizing and promoting sport events, the technical general direction for sports, Direction for International Relations Secretariat and Protocol, General Direction for Finance, and Sports Department. Every county has a sports direction in charge with sports organization on local level, promotion of local associations, stimulation of the local administration and the private sector with a view for development of the sports centers and the provision of financial support for carrying out sports events. Article 69 from the sports law stipulated that all registered sports organizations have the right to be the beneficiary of a national or local financing. The total sum coming from public financial support is determined by annual contracts between the sports organization and the public one. Until now, the state allotted the equivalent of 30 million euros for Romanian sports development. In Romania, we have problem. Now we talk about money. We talk about problem with money, but it's a lot of money, not only from state, it's a lot of money from private sector. And we have good opportunities for this only from Romania, but not only from Romania, it's from European Union. In the European Union now, it's a lot of money for sports, for sport for all, and for sport disability. We have, for example, in this moment, two good projects, two very big projects in Ovidius University in my faculty of physical education and sports. A project with 400,000 euros and another project for 50,000 euros, where is Antonella leading. It's a lot of money for people with disadvantaged problems, with for sports performance. So we talk about money and we talk about problems with money in sports, but if you want, you can access a lot of projects, not only from European Union, as I said. It's money from the county, is a money from the country and county. Okay. Below is breakdown of public subsidies allotted to the sports organization in 2013. The Romanian Olympic Committee national level, 7% from all of the money. Private sports clubs from local level, they have only 0.40%. Public sports club, local level, it's 68%. Sports directions, regional level, 10%. Veteran sportsmen support, national level, 4%. Other public institution, research, training school, museums in sports, it's national level, 1%. International contributions and dues, national level, it's a little sum. Sports centers and bases, national level, 7%. And national sports agency expenses, national level, 25%. In this national sports agency, now it's Ministry of Youth and Sports, is 25%. This money goes to the department structures club. It's in Romania, it's 42 departments clubs. Okay. In Romania, we have 72 autonomous sports federations organized in compliance with their own statutes and manifesting as specialized bodies in various sports disciplines. Okay, until 1990, this sports federation was near the states, and that organization have only money from the support from the states, from Romania. After 1990, from 1996, when the law is for this, until 1996, this autonomous sports federation have the budget from the private sector, but they have protocols with the state, and they have a lot of money from the state, but a lot of money from the private structures. Sports federations includes specialized sections of clubs and sport association. They organize activities on national level, coordinates regional development, organizes training for high-performance sportsmen, organizes or supervises international events, and represents the respective sports on international level. For the example, the Romanian Federation Sports for All, set up in compliance with the special status, carries out a program and organizes a system of public information to stimulate the forms or participation of various groups of population within clubs as well as individually in sport and physical activity. The Sport for Disabled People Federation works out in collaboration with public and private bodies for this diversifying the opportunities for the participation in and integration of disability people in appropriate national and international competition systems. From the law 84 from 1995, coordinates and supports the clubs and sports association in the development of systematic participation in sport events. In addition, it supports the high-performance sportsmen in their training and participation in national and international events, including universities, world games. The federation represents the Romanian university sport within the international organization and competition. The Council of Sports Science in Romania was set in April 1992 and includes the scientific association of the Commission with the field of sports. Its main aim is the development of scientific research in sports domain. The Council provides counseling for the private organization in sports. The sport clubs are organized for one or several sports discipline on legal status. They organize training for the high-performance sportsmen who participate in home and internal and international competitions. In 2013, for example, there were 546 sports clubs organized in district level. In Romania, we have 42 counties in various social sectors, 184 school clubs, 17 university clubs, 92 institution clubs, opt in the army, 3 within the police force, 9 in other domains. Or they are organized under the form of scientific, or they are organized as private, amateur, or professional club, 92. There are other 1,824 sports section in force. But for us, it's a lot of clubs, but I know in India with 7 states, we have probably a lot of clubs and a lot of sportsmen. Here is a stadium in Constanța near the Black Sea. They are financed by the central and local public administration, private organization, and the club's own incomes. Income sources varies from one club to another. Out of the 1,620 sports association, 2,890 functioning schools, 28 in universities, 1,062 in industrial and commercial environments, 73 within the armed force, 1,747 at local level, and 2,236 in other domains or within private initiative, but their number is increasing, especially after the enforcement of the provision of the law 69 from 2000 on physical education and sports. We are going to present the organization of a Romanian sports club, which is a working tool means to order, explain, and implement the concept of management in collective and individual sport in the socio-economic development condition specific to our country. It must contain all the functions and representations in the sports organization. For example, in a club in Romania, we have the manager, and this manager is executive, general director, or active council in university clubs. And after we have methodical cabinet, business manager, financial service, research development, secretary. In productions is about coaches, director of the department, sportsmen, inspectors. We have, you see here, pupils, sportsperson, sportsman, pupils council, yeah, and we have this sport counselor. This sport counselor is very important because he can manage some ideas from the coaches and from the peoples, or from the parents of the peoples who is involved in the sport activities. We have human financial resources, IT specialist, deputy director, sports expert, or vice president. We have an administrator of the club, cashiers, storekeeper, carpenter, rounder, receiver workers, or doorman. Contest competition organization. And this star association is for a club who the management, where the management activities, it's very, very good. For example, this horizontal organization, Rainstars, it's from the club who in Constanza, who is a departmental club, and they have 14 levels of different sports. And in this moment is the second or the third in the hierarchy in Romanian for results in sport performance. It's a very, very good club. Okay, within the sport organization, the executive manager is the architect of the organization. His view over what the organization should or could be may engage the will for change, and his personality must encompass the following 5 main dimensions in relation with these subordinates. These are the main 5 dimensions of the manager personality: extroversion, emotional stability, degree of tolerance, conscientious, open-mindedness. For example, we can go to the negative parts of the personality. If where we find this, it's about withdraws, shy, depressed, anxious, aloof, strict, impulsive, or unimaginative. Yeah, it's good to be a manager who have this personality: tolerant, cooperative, stable, outgoing, talkative, reliable, responsible, or original. It's very good if you have a manager like this. The executive manager, for example, he can be a trainer, fulfills 4 basic functions: to foresee, to organize, to order, to manage, and control in order to define the strategy, specify the methods, technology, and resources through which the strategy will be implemented, work out plans and programs, projects, syllabi, I don't know what is this, create and administrate an organization through which those plans and programs will be implemented, check and provide permanent counseling. Yeah, this is very important. This 5 point is check and provide permanent counseling, because you can give some ideas for the members of the club or for the trainers, for the coaching, but you give these activities, we give these ideas, and you don't check. It's very, very important that the check and provide permanent counseling. Provide permanent counseling from the manager, or you can give counseling from a counselor. Yeah, in Romania, from 2015, exists this sport counselor. It's a very good opportunity for sportsmen and for managers, for coaching in generally, for teamworks, if you have a sport counselor. Thank you for this first part of my presentation. Now I want to see another part of the presentation. In a moment, I didn't open it. I think it's this. This is the presentation of my university, where I invite you when you have time and when you want. Stop share and stay a moment, please, please, please. In 1 minute. This is the the presentation. As Antonella said, Ovidius University is a big university near the Black Sea in Romania, situated in the south of Romania, near the Bulgaria, Turkey. Is the university who have a great history. Look, this is Romania. Here in the east is Russia, here is Hungary, here is Yugoslavia or Serbia, this is Bulgaria, and here in the south is Greece and Turkey. We have a very, very old history. We have our name of university is from Publius Ovidius Naso. Constanza is a very, very historical city, and the name from the Latinity was Pontus or Euxinus. Euxinus Pontus is from the Latin. You see here the casino from Constanza is a very touristically city. And our university have now across this presentation is from 2019. Now we have 20,000 students. We have 16 faculties. We have a faculty for physical education and sport. Our mission is to create, maintain, and disseminate knowledge to society through education and research at European standards, and to be actively engaged in solving regional problems in the Black Sea area and beyond, transforming people's lives and society. And I'm glad to be part of this university, where Antonella Oltean, my colleague, is a chief of, I don't know the direction. Antonella, help me, please.
Is the managerial sector of the university, so controlling intermanagerial department.
And for the next conference, for sure, Antonella will have a very, very good presentation, because I know Antonella from the manager sector is very, very good professionist people in this. Okay, we have some values: unity, honor, and competence in Ovidius University. We have 86 bachelor programs in 44 fields of study, 79 master programs, of doctoral programs in the university. We have a lot of accreditation. And this is the Constanza, situated, in the south of Romania, southeast of Romania. We have an infrastructure, and here you have some sportsmen from my faculty, physical education and sports. Katarina Ponor was gold medalist of Olympic Games. Simona Halep from tennis, it's very, very good sportsman in these days. And Horia Tecău, a lot of students from gymnastics, from artistic gymnastics, from rhythmic gymnastics, and from aerobic gymnastics. We have a lot of sportsmen from athletics, from track and field. We have good infrastructure for students. We have interesting sport infrastructure. I don't tell about this infrastructure very, very higher class, but it's a very good structure. We have a hall for athletic, hall for gymnastics, for sports, for handball, for soccer, for tennis. Yeah, this is my faculty. We are situated near the Black Sea, near on the lake, and this is some images from the faculty. We have some interesting activities in sports, in culture, and we have this degree seeking international students across 1,200, and we are waiting for you in our university anytime. We have international activities, international partnerships, and we have a medical infrastructure. It's a good infrastructure in my university. For research, you know, it's a very important activity in research with a lot of institutes. We have innovation and entrepreneurship, digital Google Classroom, and we have good visibility in Europe and in other countries. We have an Institute of Black Sea, and this was the second presentation, short presentation. I wait for your answer if you have.
Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Lariel Allen has given the strategic management in sports and performance. Sir has given us scientific activity, management activity. He has explained about the Article 69 from the sports law, public subsidies from the sports organizations, autonomous sports federations, and sports clubs and manager duties. And also we came to know about Ovidius University of Constanta. So this is the first time we came to know about the Pioneer University, and also he explained nice way about all the managerial activities of the sports performance. Sir, thank you very much, sir. You have given a wonderful explanation about sports performance and strategic management. So, dear participants, this is a time to question and answer session. So if you want to ask questions, please unmute yourself and ask question. Otherwise, you can chat in the chat box. This is the open to the participant session.
Is only in the one first medal in the
Yes, sir. There is a question.
Congratulations! First medal in Olympics, silver medal in weighting. Oh, super! Bravo!
India won first medal in Olympics, silver medal in weightlifting, and Mirabai Chang.
Congratulations!
Nice. Yes.
I'm glad for this.
Any other questions?
What are the courses offered by University of Constanta?
Yes, sir. What are the courses offered by University of Constanta?
My courses is management in sport and track and field athletics, and I have some courses in physical education and sport and counseling in the sport performance. I teaching in bachelor and master degrees, and probably from 2022 we will have doctoral studies in Constanța. I'm in the process of habilitation to be head of the School of Doctoral Studies in Constanța, but from 2022.
Any other questions from the participants? Thank you. Very good afternoon. This is Dr. James on behalf of YMCA College of Physical Education. And we congratulate and honor you, sir, with a e-certificate. Dr. Larry and Allen, sir, please accept it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor for me, and it's a very good opportunity. And I thank you again, all of you, and especially Mr. Principal George. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, James, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll move on to the next one. Vote of thanks. It's my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of YMCA College of Physical Education, Nandanam, Chennai. I thank our God, Jesus Christ, for providing strength and life in this pandemic period to participate in this conference. My profound thanks to our chief guest, my teacher, Dr. Mrs. Esther Ranjani, former principal, YMCA College of Physical Education, for inaugurating this session. I especially thank our chief guest, and I do thank guest of honor, Professor K. Murugavel, sir, Register in Charge, Bardha University, Professor Rajesh Kumar, sir, Chairman and Principal, Department of Physical Education from Osmania University. But I do thank Professor Zamirullah Khan,
Feedback forward.
and HOD from Aligarh Muslim University for their valuable presence and lighting message. I sincerely thank the resource persons from Romania, Dr. Antolina Oltian, Associate Professor, Ovidius University of Constanta, Romania, for her informative speech on physical activities for differently abled. I do sincerely thank Dr. Larry Allen, who is a nice person. He had replied everything on mail also. He responded well. Thank you, sir. Professor ODS University of Constanta, Romania, for his eye-opening speech on strategic management in sports performance. My immense gratitude to thank our correspondent secretary, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, sir, Mr. Raju George, administrator and estate manager, and our principal, Dr. George Abraham, for their support and guidance to organize this conference in a very good way. I do thank our board of management, that is YMCA College Board of Management, technical committee, and the faculty members, each and every faculty member, teaching and non-teaching members from YMCA College of Physical Education for their untiring support. Last but not least, I thank all participants in this platform for this international conference, MAPES 2021, for making it a great success. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Say anything, seems that.